It's pretty unfortunate in some ways because, we do live in a hyper competitive world, right? Especially if you take a place like California, right? If you're in one of these tech hubs like Bay Area or San Diego, as a young parent, right? My kid turned 2.5 year old a few months ago, and we started him off in a preschool. And when that was happening, I remember I was pretty stressed. It was my wife who did all the work of researching schools and talking to teachers and picking a good one. But I couldn't help but sit there and be stressed through all of this, right? Because I kind of felt that, man, I'm responsible for this little person, and the decisions I make now could hurt or help him, many years in the future. When I think about it from that point of view, I can see how I overcompensate. I'm like, hey, I don't want to leave any stone unturned. I want to make sure my kid has all the necessary skills so that he can make a good living and have a comfortable life in the future. And so, in the process of thinking like that, before you know it, I have put my kid into a very rigorous school which has no focus on, say, sports. It is very academically focused. And then I have him enrolled in 5 after school programs. And the poor kid is stressed starting at 6 years old. When he's like in the first grade itself, he's like, he's doing way too much, way more than he should be. And all this because of a certain fear that I, as a parent, have, that I don't want him to fall short. It's a sort of a difficult position to be in, I feel.
That's an exactly accurate thing to say, because even parents who do put their child into competitive schools, competitive sport, and any activity that builds up a college resume are doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They want their child to do well. They want their children to have the best of opportunity, right? To get into the best of universities, to get into the best of colleges, and to eventually have the shot at the best of jobs and a comfortable life. So it is coming from a good place, that's for sure. At some point, we have to decide what is important as a parent for ourselves, and what is important for the child, and what it is that you exactly want out of the process. And by this, I mean, what is your ultimate goal for your child? Do you want your child to become the world's most top surgeon? Or do you want your child to become Chief Justice of the United States,
Mm-hmm.
or a CEO of a company? What is it that you want? The other way of looking at it is, do you want your child to just have a sense of happiness, be happy with what they do? It doesn't matter what they pursue, their decisions are their own. They may choose other professions, art, music, which are traditionally not associated with high pay, although some musicians and artists do reach high levels of perfection in their art. It could be that your child is the one who becomes that artist or that musician. But sometimes, as a parent, it is hard to acknowledge the fact that your child does not want to do something that is obviously a high paying career that you perceive would be easier for the child to do in order to have a comfortable life.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the hard choice.